Welcome to Whispers Beyond the Veil. I'm Brooke Ashley. Tonight's story is called The House Across the Street. I moved to the house on Linden Street because it was quiet. Quiet in that empty movie set kind of way. Like every window was a painted backdrop, and the world forgot to fill people in. There were 6 houses on my block. 5 lived, one just sat. It was the house directly across the street from mine. 2 stories, peeling green paint, curtains yellowed from the inside. At night, the upstairs window glowed faintly, even though no one ever turned a light on there. The realtor said the power was cut years ago. I told myself it was the moon. The first week, I was too tired to notice anything. Boxes, coffee, the echo of my own shoes in empty rooms. But the second week, right around midnight, I looked out my front window and saw movement in that dead house. Just a flicker, like someone walking past a light source I couldn't see. A silhouette. It paused in the upstairs window, head tilted, as if listening. I turned off my own lamp so I could see better. You know, that childish thrill, peering out through the darkness, pretending the dark can't peer back. The figure lifted an arm. I thought it was waving. Then I realized it was holding something. Long, thin. Maybe a cane? Maybe a knife? It raised it, and another shadow appeared behind it, smaller, moving quick. The small one fell. The tall one turned sideways and kept turning. Too far, like a hinge with no stop. Then both were gone. The window went black. I didn't call the police. What would I say? Hello, I just witnessed a crime from 40 years ago through a window with no electricity? Instead, I told myself it was a trick. Passing car lights. My own reflection. But the next night, it happened again. Same window. Same 2 shadows. Only this time I saw myself in the glass first. My reflection superimposed over theirs. For a split second, the taller shadow's head turned towards me, and both froze. Everything in the room across the street stopped, as though the film reel jammed. I stepped back fast enough to knock over a lamp. When I looked again, the curtain was drawn. The next morning, I walked over under the excuse of delivering mail. The porch boards bowed. A single chair waited like someone expected company. The mailbox was still bolted shut. The nameplate read, J.M. Carver. Etched, decades deep. I'd never heard of him. When I peeked through the mail slot, dust swirled like gnats. No furniture, no footprints, just sunlight through broken blinds, painting bars on the floor. Something about that pattern felt familiar, like the lines of light that fell across the victim's body the night before. I didn't want to think that, but my brain made the match before I could stop it. That night, I didn't look. I promised myself I wouldn't. At 12:03 a.m., the promise broke itself. The curtain was open again. The room glowed faint yellow like lamplight behind wax paper. 2 figures. The tall one, back turned, shoulders moving in, slow, repetitive motions. The smaller one still lying on the floor. I told myself it was a reenactment. Light from a television. Something explainable. Then the tall figure stopped, and its head snapped towards me. Clean, precise, mechanical. Every light in my house flickered at once. The hum was faint, but familiar. The same note, I'd heard it in the valley months before. I couldn't tell if it came from my walls or across the street. I whispered, "What do you want?" And I swear to God, the upstairs curtain twitched once, like a nod. I finally called it in. The officer who came out barely looked at the place. He said no one had owned it since 1979, when a husband and wife disappeared after a domestic call that never got answered. He used the word disappeared, the way people do when they mean don't ask. He told me they found shadows burned into the wallpaper upstairs, like silhouettes left by a blast. No fire, just outlines. He laughed when I told him the lights were back. Then he said something I still can't stop hearing. If you see them again, don't turn your lights off. They don't like being the only ones visible. 3 nights later, I woke to footsteps in my hallway. Not running, more like pacing, back and forth. The rhythm matched the tall figure's shoulders. I sat up, every muscle pretending to be asleep. Through the bedroom curtains, a glow spilled across my floor, from the house across the street. I couldn't help myself. I walked to the window. Outside, the streetlight flickered. Across the road, the upstairs room was alive again. Only this time, the window was open. I could see straight inside. The tall shadow wasn't alone anymore. There was a third one, new, closer to the glass. It moved like me. Every tilt, every breath. When I raised my hand to pull the curtain, its hand lifted too, but a half a second faster. It wasn't copying, it was leading. I whispered, "Who are you?" And from somewhere inside my own dark room, just behind my shoulder, came the answer in a voice shaped exactly like mine. The witness. I turned. Nothing. But the curtain behind me rippled like someone had brushed past it. When I looked back to the house, all of the windows were dark, except mine. The next morning, I packed. I told myself I'd sell, rent, burn, anything. But before I left, I walked to the window one last time. Sunlight hit the glass at just the right angle, and for a moment I saw 2 sets of fingerprints, one outside, one inside, touching the same spot. Mine were dusty. The others were wet. I left the key on the counter. When I stopped onto the porch, the opposite house looked cleaner. Fresh paint, curtains new and white. Someone was already inside. A moving truck in the drive. A woman at the window waving hello. For a second, I thought I should warn her. But the curtains shifted beside her, and another shape leaned close, whispering something in her ear, and she smiled. Remember, the veil is thinner than you think.